Thank you for joining us in the English program of our radio show. Today, we're going to be talking about three things. One, what is the American Dream and Promise Act that the House of Representatives passed just a couple days ago? Two, can I travel in the U.S. if I'm illegal? Can I travel in the U.S. if I'm in the middle of my process for my green card or something else? And we're talking about situations, what are riskier, how to minimize those risks, what you can and can't do. And lastly, third thing is I'm going to give you examples of people that did not follow this advice, were deported from the U.S. for not doing the right thing.
Calificas para ser legal, quieres saber, solo llama al abogado Andrés Mejer.
Top of the segment. What is the American Dream and Promise Act of 2019 that the House of Representatives just passed last week? It provides a path to citizenship for those individuals. Don't forget, Trump has tried to eliminate DACA. The courts have stopped it. They've tried to decertify all those that have TPS and deport them. The courts have stopped it. They've tried to stop deferred enforced departure. The courts have stopped it. Now, those courts, they're going to go through appeals process, and ultimately there'll be a final decision. And that final decision either will prevent Trump from doing it or will allow it. At some point, Trump will be allowed to, it's like the travel ban. Trump says something, throws something together, and then over several iterations, ultimately there's a form that will be approved by a court. What it ultimately looks like is usually very different than what it initially looked like, and that is likely to happen with DACA and TPS as well. But Trump has to do it the right way, which he likes to shortcut. He just wanted it done his way, period. He doesn't care about Congress, he doesn't care about the Constitution or people's rights, he just wants what he wants. And that's why so many courts have stopped him so many times, and a lot of them were Republican judges who are essentially saying, give me something I can work with. So, American Dream and Promise Act passed by the House of Representatives. It gives a path to citizenship for the Dreamers, TPS and deferred action departure. There are approximately 2.1 million Dreamers that would qualify under this plan. It's more than the approximate 800,000 that have applied and been approved for DACA. Deferred action deportation is about 4,000 individuals from Liberia, not very much. TPS, just over 400,000. So 2.5 million immigrants, undocumented immigrants, that would be able to achieve legal status through this path. Now, how does this work, you ask? Well, they're creating what's called a conditional green card. You meet certain requirements, you achieve that status, you keep it for a certain period of time, then you can apply for the permanent green card. You keep that for a period of time, and then you can apply for citizenship. Now, conditional green card exists today. Typically, though, it's marriage-based family petition where the marriage is less than 2 years old when they give you your green card. So my wife and I, now we're married 13 years, but for argument's sake, let's say we married last year. She applied for me, I go for my interview, it's been less than 2 years, they'll give me the conditional green card, and within 2 years after I received it, I have to apply to remove the conditions on the green card. I just met with a potential client yesterday who achieved the conditional green card in March 2014. March 2016 came by, he never filed to remove the conditions on his green card. The government put him in removal proceedings, and now he needs legal representation to do what he should have done 3 years ago. So his green card had expired, his driver's license had expired. Unfortunate, all things that can be fixed, and now what would have been not simple, but an easier, more routine process is compounded because he's in removal proceedings. So, conditional green card for the Dreamers have to pass a background search, have to show that you're a good moral character, has to show that he came to the United States before he was a minor. Now, we don't know, do they mean 18 or 21? Immigration minors is usually under 21, but DACA, we know they had to have been in the U.S. before they were 16. So, we need to see precisely what that language is going to be, and that they must have lived in the U.S. for the last 4 years. not a long time. 4 years. I mean, look, why do I say that? Because those that applied for DACA had to show they were here for 5 years, that they entered before June 15, 2007. Now we're in 2019, so if today if they would be accepting new DACA applications, they have to show they've been here the past 12 years. That's not insignificant. A lot harder than just the past 4 years. So background search, good moral character, been here the past 4 years, and either in high school, graduated high school, in the GAD program, graduated GAD program, or in a college of higher institution, meaning some post-high school studies. Once you have the conditional green card for 10 years, you can then apply for the permanent green card. Now, if it follows the current process, once you have your lawful permanent resident for 5 years, you can then apply for citizenship. So that's for the dreamers, those that have DACA. Now, TPS and deferred enforced departure need to have been living in the U.S. for the past 3 years, need to be eligible or had TPS on September 25th, 2016, and the same thing for deferred enforced departure, must have had it on September 25th, 2016. About 400,000 of those in total, 2.1 million of the dreamers. They would receive conditional green card for a period of 10 years. Once they have that, they can apply for their lawful permanent resident card, the permanent green card that's good for 10 years. Once they have that for 5 years, they'll be able to apply for citizenship. Now, we don't know what's going to happen now. It passed the House of Representatives, but remember, in order to become law, it has to go to the Senate, which is controlled by Republicans at the moment, has to be approved by the Senate, and then it needs to go to, if it's similar to the present bill, it goes to the president for signature. If it's different, then there has to be a committee comprised of senators and House and congressmen, and they have to work together on a bill, and if depending on whether it's significantly different or not, if it's similar to both, it goes to the president, or it has to go back each to the Senate and to the House, be approved in its final form, and then go to the president. So there's a lot of work that needs to be had. I really hope that this isn't just, like what happened with the Senate in 2015, 2016, the comprehensive immigration reform that passed the Senate, but the Tea Party controlled the House of Representatives and never even took it up, never voted on it. Thank you for listening to this program. My name is Andres Mecher. As always, if you have any questions, you can give us a call. You can find us on social media or on the web at Andres Mecher Law. Until next time.